Welcome back to another episode of You Feel Me? It's your boy Duffel.
I'm a tier 2 key SM.
Twa.
Jaroan. For people that don't know, he's referring to TSM who get their ass kicked in Valorant because they're a tier 2 team where they should be a tier 1 team.
It's not just
But-
Valorant, my boy. It's everything, but go ahead.
I only watch it with Valorant, so I don't know about anything else. But okay, so today we got three topics for you guys.
One out there. Let's put that out there real quick. The Apex
Are they?
team one.
Really? Who's on the Apex team?
Imperial Hall and what's the name? Ronaldo or some shit like that.
Seriously.
But yeah,
But
the Apex team is nice.
anyways, to continue, we're gonna do three topics today. And the first topic we want to talk about is the Becky Hammon situation. And if you guys don't know who Becky Hammon is, she was an assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs, and I'm pretty sure she's the first woman to be credited with a win in the NBA as a head coach. When I think Popovich got ejected, and she was promoted to for the head coach for the rest of the game, and they ended up winning. But anyway, so she recently got signed by the WNBA. And she's now the head coach for the Las Vegas Aces. Let me check my facts. Yeah, Las Vegas Aces, and her contract exceeds $1 million. Now, the issue with this is, well, y'all can say if it's an issue or not. I don't really know if it's an issue or not. But basically, if you guys don't know, the average WNBA salary is $120K, and her contract exceeds $1 million. Now, compared to the NBA, where the high-level players, the max contract players, make well more than the head coaches, you can see the issue here. So right now, I think one of the highest salaries in the WNBA is $238,000 for a 1-year deal, and that's considered a max. Well, it is a max in WNBA. So Liz Cambridge came out and she was like, let me read off her exact comment. Her exact comment was, and by the way, Liz Cambridge, last year's salary was $220K. And she's a player. Well, she hasn't re-signed with anybody yet, but she was a player on a 1-year deal for the 2-year deal for the Las Vegas Aces. But she said, yes, the WNBA, where the head coach can get paid 4 times the highest paid player supermax contract, LMAO, and y'all think I'm gonna spend another season upgrading my seat on a flight to get to games out of my own pocket. Now, she has definitely a higher average of WNBA salary. So most people might be like, what are you complaining about? You're at the top tier of the players. But I don't think that's what she's referring to. I think she's referring to the fact that since there was a new deal for the WNBA in 2022, more money should be coming to the players. But I'm going to let, let's see, Keandre, what do you think about that?
So I have a few thoughts. First, my first thought when you told me about the story was the fact that there's different money between NBA and WNBA, and the fact that they're trying to pull her from the NBA. Like, I'm sure she has a nice little contract with the NBA. I'm sure she enjoys what she does with the team. So it's like, how can I pull someone from a high-profile place like the NBA? I mean, the Spurs are, I wouldn't say a high-profile team, but they're a very known team. You know, they have some championships back in the gap. So, like, how can they pull someone to the WNBA? And, of course, it has to be a bag, you know? Like, you're not just going to get someone like that for no reason. Like, she's accomplishing, like, major feats for women in the in the NBA. So it's like, why would I give all that up without the bag? But also, I just saw that it's not just a coaching job, right? It's a GM job as well. So she's going to serve as a head coach and GM. So I feel like that adds to the bag she's getting also, just because there's so many responsibilities as a GM.
I definitely agree with that, and that's a good note because I didn't see the GM part. But my question is, are there other head coaches and GMs, or she's the first as far as a WNBA coach? Because what if there are other WNBA coaches? What are their salaries? But Wall, Jaroan, which one y'all want to go next?
I'll go next. So I was looking at it, and her salary with the Spurs was $200,000. The average WNBA salary was $121,000, and that's up from $120,000 in 2021. Some draft picks are only making $60,000 a year. the WNBA. Well, I say that to say this. Personally, I don't think that's an issue. I think it's a one-offer, though. I think that it will be a long time before another coach gets a deal like this, unless, well, I would say like this, right? If it's for GM and coach, then I feel like it's worth it, right? I feel like that's, to me, I feel like it's still a one-offer, though, that I don't feel like any other coaches or anything are even get close, even if they do the GM, whatever role, because, I mean, honestly, they probably not making that much. I'm not sure if the Aces are bringing in some type of more, they're making more money than other WNBA teams, but I definitely think it's a one-offer for. But I also can understand Liz Cambridge's issue, because it's like, I'm making this much, I got to upgrade my flights, I got to do this, I got to do that. Like, some of the stories that I've seen from fucking like the WNBA players about like how sometimes they don't have, like, they have to like fucking get sack lunches and shit still. Like, they don't get like catering and all this kind of stuff. Like, that shit's insane. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, they're not making as much money as the NBA. So you really can't compare the two. But at the same time, personally, I don't even know if it will be. I feel like if I'm a woman, right, and I can make it to the WNBA, unless I'm just one of the top tier players, shit, I might as well go get a regular job. You know what I'm saying? Making $2,000 a year ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing compared to. I mean, you could go and get a regular salary for more money than that. I feel like if I'm a professional player, it got to be some like money that I feel like is just stupid amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Yearly. You know what I mean? Like, $1 million. You know what I'm saying? The average person can't go and make $1 million a year. Shit, the average person probably can't make $1 million in 10 years. But shit, the average person can make $6,000 a year. You know what I mean? So personally, I don't know. I understand the frustration, but I feel like you can't be mad at her or really calling at her. To me, makes Liz Cambridge look bad.
Well,
I see your point. I mean, me personally, I don't think she's mad at Becky Hammon. I think she's just frustrated with the system of the WNBA. Because, I mean, imagine Steph Curry, who's making $45 million a year, and Steve Kerr gets paid, I mean, do the math, it's almost $200 million a year. How important is the coach in any sport when you compare it to the best players in the league? Like, not just the best player on the team, because, I mean, like, you look at the Rockets, the best player on the team might not be that valuable. But LeBron, when would you ever pay a coach more than LeBron, than Michael Jordan, than Messi, than Tom Brady? It's unprecedented in sports. I think that's the big issue. Even if the WNBA doesn't pull in a bunch of money, to me, it's more about the ratio of how much she's getting paid versus a super max player in the WNBA, the best of the best. And I mean, I see your point. If I had to like upgrade, stuff. I mean, I don't even have to do that for work. Like, on trips that work takes us to, I've never had to like spend money. So imagining like a professional athlete having to do that, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy to me. But then I think about like women's soccer players in the US, like a lot of them play internationally. So I'd imagine that's what she's referring to. Like, might as well just go do something like that. So I definitely see her point. Definitely agree with her. It seems like they definitely sold out to try and bring that big coaching name. And it's just kind of a shitty situation.
see, and my thing though, I don't know who she's mad at. Like, the tweet isn't clear of who she's pointing the blame at, other than like she's saying the WNBA. But are you mad about the WNBA as like they're not paying the players? Are you mad that people aren't watching the WNBA? Because my thing is this: you can't spend money that you don't have. So I don't know if the WNBA, and this is me speaking of pure ignorance, but I don't know if the WNBA is paying the most that they can. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they can, but I don't think you place the blame. I don't think you tweet something like this, because it can get lost in context, and then you have people picking at what you're saying rather than the message that you're trying to bring. I feel like you go on a podcast, speak your piece. You might record yourself and put it out there. But this tweet is kind of like, what is your message here? What are you trying to send? Because my thing is this: it kind of seems like you're mad that another woman is getting paid more than you. And granted, she is a coach, but if she can get paid this amount, maybe y'all can too one day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like the blame is kind of weirdly placed, and she could have done a better job basically saying who she was mad at and what could be done about it. Because, like I said, what Jaron said, you know, I don't know how much the WNBA makes a year, but it's nowhere near what the NBA makes a year. That's why I don't think you can compare the two. But I will say, like, if they're not playing the players as much as they could, then that is an issue. But that's what I want to know. I want to know, is that what she thinks rather than her tweet? But you know what I'm saying? But you know, hopefully that situation gets resolved and they do start paying WNBA players more money. And I got a question for y'all. Do y'all think it's kind of on us? And when I say us, I mean the viewers of sports, to help the WNBA by watching their games, to help them build ad revenue, which will increase their revenue, so on and so forth. Because in my opinion, I mean, it wouldn't hurt me to cut on a couple games and watch it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's not as interesting as the NBA. It's just not. And that's my personal opinion. But I mean, it's still competitive basketball. Like, you know, some of the people that I do know, like, you know what I'm saying, seeing the highlights, be like, damn, that's pretty cool. But as far as like watching the games, I haven't watched, I can't say I watched 5 in the last year or two, you know what I'm saying, to help out with that ad revenue. So what do y'all think about that? Jerry?
Personally, no. I don't think it's on us. Honestly, I mean, you want to see basketball played at the highest level by the best people in the world. And I mean, that's the NBA. You know what I mean? It's just a fact. It's just the NBA. You know, you can't deny that. And shit, I don't even watch the NBA like that. So I damn sure not gonna watch, a women's basketball game. I mean, shit, it's just not as interesting. I mean, honestly, I mean, I don't even, because I would say, oh, well, it's on women to support them and watch more sports. You know what I'm saying? They got to watch more. But even them, it's like a lot of women who are into basketball, they watch the NBA. They want to see the Steph Currys and the LeBrons, you know, play. They don't want to watch, like, Liz Cambridge, really? You know, I'm sorry, but it's just, they don't want to do that. So, I mean, personally, I feel like without a gimmick or some sort of strategy, it will be hard for them to gain enough revenue for them to get paid what they feel like they deserve. And just on another note, I was looking up salaries, and yeah, they made like Candace Parker made 10 to 20 times more overseas than she made in the WNBA. Like she made like 1.5 million. Like Diana Taurasi made way more overseas than she made in the NBA. I mean in the WNBA. So I mean personally, I feel like shit. Take your talents to go overseas. I mean shit. To me, that's better than fucking $200,000 a year when I can go make 1.5. You know what I'm saying? Be the star player and be getting, a lot of money. And like, that's more on par with professional basketball in other countries for men. So like the highest title for them was around 4,000, but some of them are only making like, low millions, but even some of them are making under $1 million of basketball players in professional women. So, I think that if you want equality, that's what equality is. Now, if you want to make that kind of money here, I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Agreed. Keandre, what do you think?
I agree with Jaron. Like, I mean, yeah, exactly what Jaron said. Because when I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've ever seen a commercial for a WNBA game. I don't think I've ever seen like advertisement online for a WNBA game. I see the advertisement for NBA, NFL, all this. Tennis. I don't even watch tennis. I know when the opens and all that shit happen. You know what I mean? I just don't see anything going on with WNBA, and it's like, to me, if they really want to increase their pay, I don't think they should be mad at Becky Hammon and what's going on with her, because that just opens up contract negotiations. If I see somebody over here making this much money and I'm in the same position, we need to talk about that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like that for any job. But also, like Jaron said, if you're making that much money overseas, I think the players have to take that into their own hands. Like, if something's going wrong in the NBA, they will have their, like, what is it called? When all the players didn't play. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all remember that shit like 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, the strike, the shutout.
Yeah, shutout. Like, they did all that shit. Like, they stopped playing. NFL, when they didn't believe what was going on in the NFL, or like with Black Lives Matter and all that, Colin Kaepernick, they sat out. Like, they sat down, they let niggas know what they thought. Like, there's no, like, they took it to the managers. They took it to the NFL, the NBA as like an organization. I feel like the WNBA has to do that also. Like, if you think you're the best of the best, you think you should be making this money, go make that money overseas. Don't put your time into what's happening in the WNBA. You know what I mean? But that's
I
all I got
agree.
on that.
Well,
I think the issue is like that works for like Liz Cambridge, but what about the 12th man who's getting paid $40,000 a year? Like they either have to get another job altogether or just risk like their career to do a strike. But at the same time, the salary cap for a team is $1.3 million, and for a coach to coaches don't count into that. The executives and coaches aren't part of the salary cap. It's only players. For a coach to be making that much of a team's 12 players, that's an
okay, I see
issue.
what you mean. Yeah.
That's a fundamental issue with the league. And at that point, I mean, if you're good enough, I mean, I'm getting the fuck out of there. I'm playing in another country. Like, there's no reason that I could think of. Like, I'm not trying to carry a nation. I'm not trying to. I could see some people wanting to like make WNBA mainstream, but like, is it worth sacrificing, a 5, 6, 7x contract with a place in another country? I don't know. I don't think it's on us because I mean, like, you can't just. I don't know. To me, you can't just. You can't support. You can't just show support for stuff if you're not really interested. I don't know. It just doesn't seem very genuine. I mean, yeah, you could flip it on every once in a while, but I just don't think that's sustainable to like promote growth with the WNBA personally.
I agree with you.
I got one
Go
thing
ahead,
I want
Jen.
to say before we switch topics. I know we're getting coming up on time, but I feel like they need to add like some type of like they won't be able to play standard basketball and make money. I thought they got to add some type of like new rules like a 4-point shot and like a less time shot clock to a lot faster and like fucking maybe instead of 5-on-5, 3-on-3 type shit.
Do you think that takes away from like the game they love though?
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's the only way
Yeah,
they're gonna make the money they want. That's what I'm saying.
I feel
To me,
like
you
you
have to
can't
make it
really do
interesting at
that
some point.
though, because I mean it's like they
You
pride their passion, right? Like when we were talking
pride
about
of money,
why
pride of
don't.
money.
Well, I mean I feel you. I definitely feel you, but it's like for them, this is something they've been trying to do since they were kids, right? This is their dream. It's their passion. Are they really going to give it up for a gimmick when they can just leave
Pride money
type thing?
overseas.
I feel that, but I look at it
only
like
option.
this. For instance, I don't think WNBA players can be mad at the public for the viewership because it's like, for instance, our podcast, right? We're not a big podcast. We might get 20 views on one video, a 60-minute video, right? Shit, are we complaining? Like, am I supposed to complain? Like, because motherfuckers not watching? No, we just do better, do more, try to get exposed. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think you can place the blame on the viewer. It's just like you got to do what it takes to get y'all to the next level. And what Wall said is that 12th man. What about them? I think that's the question in every big sports. Like when they were talking about creating their own football league, when the Texas coach made that comment about the inmates and the prisoners, like. Yeah, there's going to be some players, some sacrifices, but it takes those higher paid players to cover the salaries and the cost of those lower paid players so you can accomplish the bigger goal. So, I feel like it's going to have to be a sacrifice like that. But moving on to the next topic, not to cut y'all off or anything, and I want to say shit, we didn't say nothing about Black History Month. So, happy Black History Month. February 1st, when we recording this, you know what I'm saying? Also a Lunar New Year for well, you can explain that because I don't really know much about it.
To be honest, bro, I don't. It's just, in particular, Vietnam and China celebrate New Year at a different time than like America does, which happens to be today and throughout the week, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Moving on to the Brian Flores topic. So basically Brian Flores, who was let go by Miami, and I don't know if that was racially driven, but I think that was very stupid because he's a good coach and shit, he won like 8 of his last 9 games. Didn't they end up with a positive record, 10 game wins or 10 wins?
I think he also mentioned that as part of the issue, but I'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So basically, the issue is today, February 1st, Brian Flores, he's suing the NFL for racial discrimination in the hiring process. Now, many people are asking why, this, that, and the third, and I'll explain why and why I think that he's justifying this claim. So basically, he was texting Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick did not know it was Brian Flores. He thought it was this dude named Brian Dabble, who probably going to end up being the coach of the Giants. So he texted Brian Flores texted Bill Belichick and was basically like, "Hey, coach, what's up? What's the word?" And Bill Belichick text back like, "I think you got it." And he was like, "What do you mean?" Basically, and he was like, "Giants?" ? And he was like, "I go interview Thursday." That would have been the first red flag to me because at this time, Brian Dabble had already interviewed with the Giants. So Brian Flores takes back like, "I don't interview till Thursday," and I guess Bill Belichick didn't realize it, and he was like, "I think you got it. You're their man." Da da da. So then Brian Flores says, "Thanks, coach. I hope so." And then he texts back later and say, I think he asked, "Do you think this is Brian Flores or Brian Dabble or whatever?" And Bill Belichick said, "I'm sorry, I messed it up. I misread the message. I think they're going with Dabble." So basically, they knew who they were going to go with before they even interviewed Brian Flores. And the only reason they gave Brian Flores a interview is because of the Rooney Rule, because you have to interview one minority coach. So basically, that's why he's suing the NFL, because they didn't even really give him a chance because they had already chosen their guy. And the Giants franchise is basically going to be screwed if this comes back to be true, because I feel like they're in a hard spot. Because have they hired the Brian Dabble guy yet? Have they officially made him the head coach? Does anybody know?
I think
Okay,
so.
so now,
Because I recognize
okay,
the
so with that being said, that means that you can see the issue there. Like, they already knew who they were going to go with, and they didn't even, give Brian Flores the interview. Now you can make the assumption, oh, it could have been any coach, whatever. Like, they knew that's what they wanted the whole time. You can make that argument. I feel like if you do, it's kind of like, you trying not to see the truth. But the reason I'll fight back against that argument, the other coaches they interviewed had already been interviewed before that text message was sent. So Brian Flores was the last one to be interviewed. So you can see kind of where like the bullshit is. But my question, and I'll start off with Wall, is what do y'all think about this situation?
I guess for me, I wouldn't be surprised. So Brian Flores sued him, because basically from what I understand is he thinks their minds were made up and it was just like a formality for him interviewing. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before, and I feel like it's something that I can't imagine that coaches just make this up, that black head coaches or Hispanic head coaches just make stuff like this up. I don't think a whole lot will come out of it, to be honest. But I do think it's warranted, and I understand his frustration. And while I think it's like a career-ending move for him, um, I mean, I support it, and I think it makes a lot of sense, especially considering the fact that he was like incentivized to lose games, and then going on like an 8 or 9 game win streak this year means nothing. Like, they had a winning record at the end of the year. I mean, they have a decent looking future, and he gets fired for, in my opinion, no reason. So yeah, I think it's just a shitty situation and something that needs to be looked at, but probably won't be looked at, to be honest.
Jaron?
The way I look at it is this. It's obvious that in our world that, people will interview certain races and they know for a fact that they're not going with this. And the easiest way to look at it is for me, when I was interviewing for different jobs and stuff like that, look at the fucking, the head people. You got 30 white dudes at the top of this company. You got 20 people under them that all managers are all white. Bro, they not looking to hire nobody black or of any minority. That's how I look at it. And I feel like the NFL is the same way. I mean, I feel like to me it's a good old boys club. It is. You know what I mean? You gotta act a certain kind of way, believe in certain type of things. This, that, and the third. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, And I mean, we see with Colin Kaepernick. You know what I mean? Do I feel like he's was one of the best quarterbacks in the league? No. But do I feel like there was 32 people in the league better than him at the time? Fuck no. No, not even fucking close. So it's just like it's an agenda. It's definitely obvious that these things happen. I personally think he'll win a settlement. Do I think that's gonna change anything? No. But they'll pay him off. Not I won't say pay him off, but they'll pay him some money. Same thing with Colin Kaepernick. They'll pay him some money. They'll give him some bread, and that'll be the end of it. This is what I feel like.
Keandre?
Yeah, I agree with Jaroan and Wall. First, the thing with the firing, Brian Flores himself mentioned that they tried to pay him to lose, like pay him a certain amount to lose for better draft picks or something like that. So like, the firing was definitely not about his what he did with the job. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to get rid of him either way because he didn't lose like they wanted to. Like he didn't tank. But when I first heard about the story, I didn't really get why he was calling racism on it until y'all explained to me about the Rooney Rule. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's the Rooney Rule.
Yeah.
It's called Rooney Rule.
Yeah, once you explained that to me, I was like, oh, no, they definitely fucked up. Nah, that's straight racism. The fact that they knew their man before anybody got hired. Like, any hiring process, they might know, like, oh, we really like this person. But they'll either, if they really like them, they'll sign them and then, just forget all interviews after that, or they'll keep going with interviews just to see if anybody is better. But for him to already have had the job, for another coach to want to congratulate him on the job, that, Bill Belichick has been in the league for I don't know how many years, probably since before I was born. So, like, he knows, he has influence, he knows what's going on behind the scenes, right? So for him to, like, try to congratulate him, like, they were going to hire old boy no matter what. It didn't matter what the next coach did. And it probably was just some formality shit why they even wanted to interview Brian Flores still. So, yeah, I hope he get his bag.
I'm going to tell y'all another reason he's finna get a bag, and another reason. He has record from the owner trying to get him to do to tamper with what is it called, quarterback tampering. Well, tampering with players. So basically, this is a direct quote. After the end of the 2019 season, Mr. Ross began to pressure. Mr. Ross is the owner or whatever. Began to pressure Mr. Flores to recruit a prominent quarterback in violation of league tampering rules. Mr. Flores repeatedly refused to comply with these improper directives. Undeterred, in the winter of 2020, Mr. Ross invited Mr. Flores onto a yacht for lunch. Shortly after he arrived, Mr. Ross told Mr. Flores that the quarterback that he wanted him to get was conveniently arriving at the marina to come and meet with them. And Brian Flores left the yacht immediately. And after that, he said that he was screening someone who was non-compliant and difficult to work with.
Yeah, he getting his bag.
Who was the quarterback?
He didn't say.
I wonder whether Deshaun Watson. I can't wait to see who they're gonna come out. But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
He finna get a bag for sure. He got too many receipts.
I'm gonna say I don't see how he loses I don't see how he loses his lawsuit. But I agree with Wall. I don't think he'll ever coach another NFL team. Not as a head coach for sure.
And also this, what Keandre said about him paying him. He told him that he will pay him $100,000 for each game lost that year. So each game that he lost, he was going to pay him $100,000.
I hope he didn't take that money. I don't think he would, because that wouldn't be something he's trying to.
Shit, he kept winning. Well, I ain't gonna say kept winning. They lost, but he played them games out.
Yeah. So yeah, he was gone regardless. It didn't matter what the fuck he did. He was gone. He was definitely gone. And I'll say this too. I feel like it's kind of convenient, you know what I'm saying, for Bill Belichick to miss this text message enough. I feel like he did that on purpose a little bit. I don't know. I feel like he kind of let that slip a little bit just because he knew that some bullshit of another organization was gonna come behind it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Flores is under that Belichick camp, ain't he?
Is he?
I think he is. Yeah, he one of Bill Belichick's under his branch.
Interesting.
what's funny to me is the thanks bill at the end of the text message. Because, I mean, I feel like that thanks bill, that's all he sent back. But I feel like that was like, hey, looking out. You just gave me a loaded gun type shit. Like,
Yeah, that's true. But if it wasn't on purpose, whoever that told Belichick that ain't to that nigga shit else.
They letting that man go, whoever it was. The owners gonna get on that ass. They don't get on Bill ass. They don't get on that ass.
So, all right, then moving on to our last topic of the day. I'll let Walt explain this one because there might be more to it than I know. So, Walt, can you explain this last topic?
So I guess in the context of dating and relationships, do you guys believe in the concept of, I really like this person, this is a perfect person for me, but it's just the wrong time. The timing's off, and therefore we can't proceed with the relationship. It's not going to work, yada, yada, that whole thing. So basically, do you guys believe in the concept of right person at the wrong time?
You can go first, Walt. Let Walt go first. I'm interested to see his take.
I don't. I think that shit's stupid. If it's the right context is everything. In general, for me, I can't imagine what a wrong time looks like where the right person doesn't make sense. Maybe if it's like, you live in Vietnam and I live in the USA where the time zone difference is like insane. But even like, I don't know, I would even try it. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to just like, oh no, this is just not gonna work type thing. I feel like if you really want something, like you'll make it happen. There, all the time I see like girls posting TikToks about like their new guy who's like so great. If he wanted to, he would. If you wanted to, you would, and that's it, in my opinion. Like unless it's like some health circumstances, like some like super extraneous circumstance that prevents you from fulfilling the duties of being in a relationship. I don't know. I think that concept is so fucking stupid.
Interesting. Jared, go ahead.
I think can be a thing, and I'm gonna tell you why. For instance, right, with long distance, right? Yeah, you can make long distance work, but that shit get old quickly. You know what I mean? So it's like I may be really into this person and really like this person and everything they doing, but it's just like it's becoming too much of a hassle for the travel, or we keep missing each other. Shit, like you're busy during the day, I'm busy during the day, type shit. We just keep missing each other, not really communicating. I mean, to me, that could be wrong. Wrong time. But I also believe that you can meet someone and just be like, to me, inopportune. Like, first thing, I feel like that with my girlfriend. I feel like we could have met a year or two later and that'd have been perfect. You know what I mean? Because shit, I was in college, just got out of a relationship, and we met. It was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was like I knew that if I didn't be with her, I would be missing out. So I chose to be with her. But was I ready at the time? Hell no. Wasn't ready. Wasn't ready at all. So
I don't think that's a good example because
I feel like that's wrong timing.
But you committed to her though. Like I think wrong timing if it don't work out. Like you committed to her, so I don't think that's really a wrong timing thing.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Thanks for proving my point, bro.
I feel like it.
He did prove your point because he wanted to. He did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but okay, but also like first, like I said, the other point though I made about the long distance and shit like that. Like I mean, that could definitely be a thing. Or like for instance, right? Let's say me and you meet and we're perfect together, but then all of a sudden like something tragic happened. One of my parents died. And I just I just emotionally can't process that and be with you. You know what I mean? Like that happens to people. Life-changing events happen to people.
But Walt said that though. Like it has to be some extreme case. Like people be using the right person, wrong time shit on little ass basic ass shit. Like this nigga done cheated on you. Now it's right person, wrong time. No, that nigga just ain't shit. It ain't no right person, wrong time. So I think it has to be an extreme case if that's a thing.
Of course, with cheating, bro. No, like I feel like that's obvious.
No, I'm telling you how people use it though. Like they use it in not extreme cases. Like you can't tell me, because even with long distance, if you want to, you will. So you can't tell me a situation that's not extreme where right person, wrong time makes sense.
I'm in a relationship with someone else and I meet someone I feel like I could be in a relationship with them better, but I can't. I don't want to cheat on that person.
Leave, nigga. I don't. Thank you, Walt. Thank you. So no, nigga, no. Keandre, go.
Nah, it ain't just that simple.
I'll say I do. I do believe in that shit. Just because I feel like I'm a pretty good example of that. Because like I done went through phases of shit where like I went through a time period where I wasn't even looking at getting into a relationship with a girl. I'll talk to you. I'll show you a good time. We chill, hang out, whatever. But I wasn't dating you. I also was like at a point. I'll say I was like an asshole. Like I'm a much nicer dude now. I honestly believe, and I tell my girlfriend this all the time. If she met me a year earlier, she probably would hate me. She probably wouldn't talk to me at all. We probably wouldn't be together type shit. So like I think it depends on the person, but I do think that's a thing because like you can meet somebody and just not have that mindset of I want to be in a relationship or something like that. Not on some like drastic shit or not on like I met this person, she amazing, I want to change for her. But maybe sometimes you just can't change. You know what I mean? It might take you some time to like really get into that mindset, really grow as a person and be able to commit to somebody. I think that's one big thing too. Some people just can't commit at a certain time period. And so that person may move on, find somebody better, and then, or find somebody that's willing to commit, and then you lost out on that. That's something you think about all the time, or whatever the fuck it is that people go through.
I agree. I hear you out on that, but I feel like in that situation, like who's taking the L there? Because if you're the one bullshitting, you can't say they was the right person, and they damn sure can't say you the right.
I mean,
person.
you can regret it though. You regret it.
I mean, you can regret it, but I don't think
Like
that's
you
right
can
person,
meet.
wrong time.
I feel like you can meet somebody, be in a position like, damn, she real cool, or he real cool. Damn, we hit it off on so many levels, and then some shit like that happens, and it's like for you that could have been the right person. You don't know if it was the right person, but like you think about that shit, especially if you single. If you single, you think about that shit like, damn, that could have been something. I should have tried that out. I should have been in a different space. Like to me, that's right person, wrong time. Like I don't think it has to be something big like shit like that. Like damn, we were supposed to be together type shit. But like maybe for like that time period, y'all could have been a great ass couple, and you missed out on it because of some shit y'all did or you did. Like I don't think it got to be like we supposed to be married or we're destined to be together type shit. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean. See, I was leaning on the same plate as what you were saying, Keandre, but then what Walt said makes just so much damn sense to me. Because I just feel like what he said is true. Like if you want to, like I feel like for instance with me, like with Andrea, like similar situation with Andrea, like I mean with Jaroan, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in college or whatever. Was I ready to commit at the time? No, but did I do it? Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying? I made that choice. Because I knew if I didn't, what I would be leaving behind. So if I didn't commit to her, could I say right person, wrong time? I don't think I could because I made that choice not to go after her. So it's not like something stopped me. I just chose not to.
But I don't think it has to be that. I think that's what I think that's the whole thing is like, yeah, you could go to the extremes to be with a person. I 100% agree. But for instance, let's say today I meet a girl who's in law school, right? And you got to do a lot of studying.
Wait, let me ask you this before you continue. Let me ask you this: are you saying okay? Do you think that right person, wrong time is the same as like I meet you, but I'm not ready to be in a relationship?
No.
See, I was gonna ride with you, but then you saying no.
Not ready as in what? Like I'm not ready as in like I'm not ready to commit, or I'm not ready as in like I don't have my life in order.
Either or.
Yeah, both of them.
Well, I think for instance, like not having, I'm not ready to commit. I don't think that's a good reason. But not having my life in order, to me, that's a good reason to be like right person, wrong time. Because for instance, right, like I was saying, right. Let's say I meet a girl and she's in fucking I'm gonna use nursing school for example. Cause we both know we do that. All the studying they have to fucking do. I can't be with you how I want to be because you got to study all the time. But you might be the perfect girl for me 2-3 years later when you get out of doing all that studying because then you can have time for me. Right? So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's right person, wrong time.
On top of that, does it have to be a good reason?
No, I guess not.
No.
That's my thing. I feel like it don't even gotta be a good reason.
It gotta make sense. It gotta make sense.
Man, bro, people dumb as hell, bro. Niggas make decisions every day that don't make no sense and then regret that shit. I look at that like I look at relationships like that. Like maybe you ran to somebody and like you know you fucked with them, and then you just made a dumbass decision in the moment. Like cheating is a dumbass decision in the moment. And, you know,
I can't rock with cheating as an example, but I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Because
I don't think
like, I might I might be upset at something else, and then you say something wrong to me, and I just spaz on you.
Yeah, shit like
break
that.
bridge type shit. But you know what I'm saying? It just right. You was the right person. I just done some stupid shit at the wrong time. You know what I mean?
I think it's all about perspective too, because I don't think it has to be both sided, two sided. Like both parties don't have to feel like it was right. I think that's my issue at first. I was thinking both parties don't feel that way. But nah, both parties don't have to feel that way.
Like Shorty may not think about you at all, and you probably think about her every night, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we see that on Twitter.
I can agree.
You know one thing though I seen something that's a fact. People think about you more than you would think they think about you. That's a fact. You ever just had a random thought about a random person and you're like, I wonder how they ever thought about me. People think about you more than you think so, like just randomly. It's like you think about random people think about you.
I feel like I always thought that niggas think about. Well, I realize that niggas think about me less than I
want them
think they
thinking
do.
about me. Your thoughts to yourself, bitch. No, ain't none of that.
Why we gotta be talking about women?
Hey, I'm just saying, women.
Nah, see what's on your mind. Get it off your chest.
Don't even.
Get it off your chest.
Don't even. I know I'm amazing and all, but I'm taking. Oh, by the way, shout out to my fiance. She gonna be an RN. She passed her board of nursing exam. I didn't do this last podcast, but yeah, shout out to her. But yeah, I see what y'all mean though. I don't know. Like Wall made a good ass point, and y'all making a good ass point. So I don't know which side I'm on.
So my point is more of like I guess context is everything. Like define what wrong time means, and I think that's the main like not issue we're having, but the main like difference between all of our opinions. My thing is like. Nah, go ahead. No, go.
I fucking hate Wall.
I'm gonna go. Also, if you're taking it literal or like, conceptual. You know what I mean?
Nah, bro, fuck you. Wall, go, Wall.
Well, my thing is like I said, when I think of wrong time, I think of like really, I guess you could say macro sort of issues like distance, school, fucking, I don't know, like shit aside from like, I mean, maybe even mental stuff. But in particular, I'm thinking of this TikTok that I've seen, and not just one, like several examples of COVID. Everyone was restricted to their houses. A lot of people were like on, what was that one thing called where it's like roulette of video chatting people?
Oh, Omegle?
Omegle or some shit like that. This dude like met this chick in Spain from the United States. I think he's from New York. And them motherfuckers got married after 1 year. Like, bro, if you want to, you will fucking make it happen. This dude like went to Italy or England, wherever she was. They hung out. She came to New York. They hung out. And then he went back and then proposed her over a span of like, I think a year
I agree with that, Walt. But let's say this. Let's say she, due to the COVID restriction, did not want to be with him, right? Could he say then right person, wrong time? Because COVID never happens, right person. But due to COVID, wrong time.
Yeah, but I guess what would you say? So she doesn't want to be with him because COVID is going on? Yeah. Is that the thing?
Like not are you meaning with him as in be together, or you mean like physically touching each other?
Well, I mean, she's not willing to do this relationship because of COVID. COVID is her issue. So if there was no COVID, that's why I say, right? I think he could say in that matter, right person, wrong time. Because a year earlier, there's no COVID, they hit it off, da-da-da. So that's why I say, I think he can say that because she don't have to feel the same way about him for him to say that about her.
I guess for me, I would say, like, if it was me being a dude, it would be like, if you wanted to, like, try and make it work, you would try it. You would try harder. Like, I understand COVID's a serious thing. But if she's out doing shit in her regular life, then that's just an excuse. If she's still going to like bars and stuff or going out and shit, then that's an excuse in my opinion. I think she can say right person, wrong time, because she's the person who's like unwilling to. Well, can she even say that? I don't even know if I'll say that. If she's well, I mean, maybe she really likes. Well, if she really like, dude, nah. See, I can't. There's no weighing it out for me. If you wanted to, you would. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I feel like that example is like I feel like that's not the typical because, like you said, he was in New York, she was in Spain. He had the ability to travel to see her, right? And then she had the same ability. I feel like most people, well, I ain't gonna say most people. I feel like a lot of people don't have that ability to just on a whim go to Spain or go to New York type thing. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But also, go ahead.
Well, he wasn't rich. They weren't rich. It's not like they were balling and it was like easy. Like I think he worked for like a while and saved up and like he really like made this shit happen.
That's what I'm
for
like. I
context.
don't. That's like somebody doing everything they can to get into that situation. I don't see most people doing that. I expect people to do the bare minimum most of the times. I feel like that's like a fundamental difference right there, right? Because you like saying if you want it, you go do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I feel like people may want to do some shit, but something might get in the way and they're like, fuck it, I'm just not gonna do it. And they put shit off for like their whole life, pretty much. You know what I mean?
But I think that's what I'm saying. I think you gotta take the word as like the concept of it, not the literal term. Because in most cases you could do it, but is it worth going through all the trouble? Well, I guess worth will be the relationship, but at the same time, it's like versus like let's say I gotta travel all the goddamn time to be with this fucking person, like, and I don't want to fucking travel. Like, yes, I could do it, but I don't want to. So right.
And
person,
also
wrong
like
time.
the thought of risk. Like I'm in New York. Like you said, I'm working. I'm saving all this money up to go to Spain. I go over there and she ghosts me. I go over there and she is a fucking what was that shit? That boy Nev from MTV. She a catfish, you know what I mean? She a fish fry, bro. Well, what am I? I'm over there mad as hell now, bro. I can't even enjoy Spain, bro. I'm mad as hell in Spain. Like I feel like a lot of times people get like thoughts like that into their heads, shit like that, so where they wouldn't even like make the attempt.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like a mindset. Because I think Wall thinks very literal, and I guess you would say we're not meaning the term as literal as Wall is taking it, because Wall is making a great fucking point, and I can't argue against his reasoning, but at the same time I can't argue against y'all. So I think it's all about your personal perspective. You either believe it or you don't. I don't think there's a true answer with that question.
Yeah, it's what is it? Subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a perspective, like preference sort of thing. Yeah, I can agree with that. But it's just like, it's like, I don't know, man. Like in all of your examples, it's just resounding in my head. Like, like, yeah, I might not like to travel. I might not be able to afford it. Bro, like FaceTime, like try, like just try. And I don't know. It's just
I think in that case, though, the other person has to be receptive of that, right? Because say you broke, you don't got the money to go to Spain, whatever the fuck that old girl at, and FaceTime ain't enough for her. So you knew if, I guess, if you don't have the money, like, I don't know. But I feel like if, like, for instance, but that's extreme, though. I don't know. It's tough. Like, I can see it on both sides. I feel like both parties don't have to agree as right person, wrong time. But like I said, I can't argue with what you're saying, Walt, because what you're saying make perfect sense. But at the same time, I can't argue with what Keandre and Jaroan saying, because what the fuck they saying make perfect sense. I don't know. I ain't on either side,
Yeah,
goddamn.
we talking about like fucking New York to Spain. I know niggas who won't drive fucking an hour and a half. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I definitely ain't feel like I don't know though. Our relationship would have to start in person. If it started long distance, fuck no, bitch. I'm not finna come no goddamn hour to see you. I ain't finna do that. It just ain't in me to drive an hour to see you. I need you in close proximity.
I will say this though.
Now later I drive, but early nah.
I will say this though. For y'all motherfuckers out there that be like, oh, he cheated on me, right person, wrong time. Or you cheated on them, right person, wrong time. Nigga, no, that shit ain't no. We not doing that one. So hell no, we ain't agreeing with that one. What the fuck, nigga? What? How?
Hold on,
How can you argue that?
I said earlier that I didn't understand that, right? But at the same time, I'm thinking like this, right? What if I got a high 6 drive and it's long distance? You know what I mean?
Nigga, no.
If you were closer, I wouldn't
tell you. City, bro. You better
cheating automatically rules out right person.
Jay not here exposing himself, bro. That's all it is. Jay, hey, Michelle, you watching? Be careful. Stay where he at.
Facts. So hell no. But anybody got anything else? Because we pretty much had time. We went overtime, but it's fine. So you got anything else? Hey, Mia. All right, nobody has anything else. Shout out Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Shout out the Lunar New Year. This has been your boys from YaFeelMe, and we out.